A 4-hour drive from Bangalore brought us to one of the most ancient Divyadesam, which is called the Tirukovilur Ulagalanda Tempermal Temple, which is counted as the 42nd Divyadesams out of 108. Now, this is also one of the amongst the Pancha Krishna Narayana Kshetrams, and the other four are Tirukannangudi, Kapisalam, Tirukannapuram, and Tirukannamangai. The Sthala Puranam of the Tirukovilur Ulagalanda Perumal Dividesam temple is found in the Brahma Puranam as well as the Padma Puranam. Namaste, my name is Sangeeta Venkatesh, and if you are here for the first time, I welcome you all. And I want to tell you that this channel is all about travels, temples, culture, and heritage of India as well as abroad. And if you have not yet subscribed, it would be wonderful if you hit the subscribe button as so that you get the notifications automatically if you like this channel. So please do browse through. There is a lot of information in this channel. So back to Tirukovilur. Now, I want to start the description of the temple with a beautiful story that involves the first three Alvars. Now, they're known as the Modal Alvars, and the Alvars are the saints, poet saints of, who were following Sri Vaishnavism, and they sang divine songs or pasurams which are included in the magnum opus of like Divya Prabandham, and the first three Alvars are Poigai Alvar, Bhutat Alvar, and Pei Alvar. And the story which occurred in Tirkovilur goes something like this. So it seemed like any other day, but suddenly the skies darkened and a heavy downpour began. The wandering saint Poigai Alvar, who was from Kanchipuram, found a small shelter, just enough space for one person to lie down. Soon, Bhudat Alvar, who was from Mahabalipuram, he also arrived at the same spot, and he was seeking refuge from the rain, and he came under the same shelter. Poigai Alvar graciously welcomed him, and the two sat huddled together. Not long after, Pei Alvar, who was from Mylapore, Madras, present day Chennai, he too reached the same spot. Now, with the little room left, all three saints chose to stand close to each other in the cramped space. The darkness grew intense, and within that tiny shelter, they could not see one another. But they conversed with each other, and it led to also topics on spirituality. And since all three were bhaktas of Lord Vishnu, then Poigai Alvar sang a poem in Tamil where he said that the entire world is of matter is a lamp, the ocean is the ghee, and the bright sun is the flame, and the mind pining away for bliss is the wick. Beautiful, isn't it? Then Bhutat Arvar also sang, inspired by him, and he said that the intense life is the receptacle, yearning is the ghee, and the pining mind is the wick. Thus, jnana lights the wick to dispel the darkness of ignorance. Amidst the pitch black night and the rumble of thunder, the Alvar suddenly sensed a presence of a fourth being pressing gently amongst their midst. And with each flash of lightning, they glimpsed a radiant and divine form. The face was luminous, serene, and unmistakably celestial. There were two flashes, and the trio instantly recognized that it was Lakshmi who manifested first, and immediately Lord Vishnu who manifested amongst them. This vision of for the three Alvars that was given for the first time established the fact that God was neither exclusively Stri or Purush, that is not exclusively female or male, but a harmonious blend of the two. Now that is termed as Tirumal. Tiru refers to goddess Lakshmi and Mal refers to Lord Vishnu. Now, inspired by devotion, then, Poigai Alvar composed 100 verses. The hymn is interpreted as the Alvar's heartfelt prayer to the Lord to dispel the darkness of ignorance and bless him with boundless knowledge and divine power. Bhutatalvar, moved by the deep devotion, composed another 100 verses, envisioning a lamp lit eternally by the fire of his unwavering love for the Lord. Now, Peyarvar also followed this with another 100 verses, where he eloquently described the captivating beauty of the divine form. Narayana, adorned with a chakra and shankha, standing in eternal union with his consort, Goddess Lakshmi. Each verse radiated with awe and wonder at the grace and grandeur of the Lord. These form parts of the Nalayana Divya Prabandha, which is a sacred text for the Sri Vaishnavites, especially in the south, because it is in Tamil. Now, the mythology, there are many stories connected with Tirkovilur, and the temple is also deeply connected with the story of King Mahabali and the Vamana avatar, the fifth avatar of Lord Vishnu. And the main idol is really connected with this story. you know um, so the story is something like this. King Mahabali, as you know, was renowned for his unmatched generosity. I mean, many of you would know this story, but I will repeat it again in short. And the King Mahabali was, he wanted to adhere to dharma all the time, and desiring that no one surpass him in fame, he undertook a grand yajna under the guidance of the Asura Guru Shukracharya. Now, to humble Mahabali's growing pride, Lord Vishnu took the form of the humble Vamana, a dwarf Brahmin, and arrived at the sacrificial ground, requesting a simple offering, 3 feet of land. Sensing the divine intent behind this request, Shukracharya tried to dissuade Mahabali from fulfilling it. However, Mahabali, unwavering in his word and charity, chose to honor this request even if it meant going against his guru's counsel. And then you all know what happened. In an instant, Vamana transformed into Trivikrama, the cosmic form. With his first step, he measured the entire earth. With the second, he spanned the heavens. He then asked the king where might place his third step. Realizing the true identity of his guest, Mahabali humbly offered his own head. Vishnu, accepting the offering, placed his foot on Mahabali's head. But before the ritual could be completed, Mahabali had to pour water to affirm his vow. And Shukracharya, in a final act of resistance, assumed the form of a beetle and blocked the spout of the ritual vessel. Vishnu, using the blade of the darba grass, pierced the obstruction, blinding Shukracharya, who then withdrew in defeat. Vamana then placed his foot on Mahabali, sending him to Patala, or the netherworld. However, he granted the noble king immortality for his humility. In recognition of Mahabali's devotion and that of his illustrious ancestor, that is, his grandfather Prahalada, Vishnu granted him sovereignty over Patala. So, in his colossal form, Vamana is revered as Trivikrama or Ulugalanda. While the legend is famously linked to the Trikakara temple in Kerala, it is closely associated with this temple too, and as well as the Ulagalanda Perumal temple in Kanchipuram. So there is another legend connected with the temple, and according to the legend, the temple was originally dedicated to Krishna, and the name Kovilur itself is believed to be a reference to the presiding deity Gopalan, which is another name of Krishna. And as is described in the Brahmanda Purana, the sage Mrikando, that is, who was a father of Markandeya, eager to witness the Vamana avatara of Vishnu, was advised by Brahma to visit this sacred site and undertake penance. And accompanied by his wife Mitravati, the sage established a hermitage here where the couple devotedly served meals to the Brahmanas. To test their devotion, Vishnu appeared in disguise as a Brahmana and asked for food. having already served all the food, and there was no provisions left for the day. So Mitravati was distressed and fervently prayed to Lord Vishnu himself, who actually you know come before them. In response to her sincere devotion, the empty vessels miraculously filled with food, allowing her to feed the guest. Moved by their faith and hospitality, Vishnu revealed his divine form as Vamana and then manifesting in the majestic Trivikrama form. And hence Mrikandu Rishi got his divine darshan, and so that he could see Trivikrama with his own eyes. Now, the temple features an impressive 11-tiered Rajgopuram, that is the main gateway tower, rising to a height of 59 meters, that is 194 feet, making it the third tallest temple tower in Tamil Nadu, after those of Sri Ranganatha Swami Temple and Sri Villiputtur Andal Temple. And it is located in over 5 acres. Now, the temple complex includes residential quarters within its outer precincts. Now, the presiding deity, as we discussed, the Ulagalanta Perumal or Trivikrama, is enshrined in a striking wooden image carved from Taru wood with one foot dramatically lifted, symbolizing his Trivikrama form. The sanctum also enshrines Mahalakshmi, Prahalada, and Mahabali to the right of the main deity, and on the left are Shukracharya, Sage Mrikandu, and the three Mudal Alvars, that is Poigai, Buttat, and Peyalvar. Unusually for a Vishnu temple, Perumal here holds the Shankha, the conch, in his right hand and the chakra in his left, opposite the conventional iconography. Now, in this channel, I have also spoken about another temple where a similar, iconography exists. So, if you have been following my channel, do let me know if you remember, and put it down in the comments. Now, the image of Vamana is positioned behind the sanctum. The hall preceding the sanctum houses statues of the Alvars, while the metal Utsava Murtis, that is the festival deities of Puvalan and Pungodai Tayar, are also present in the sanctum. The temple has two gopurams, with the taller one marking the main entrance, and surrounding the sanctum are several shrines dedicated to various deities, including Lakshmi Narayana, Lakshmi Narsimha, Vardaraja, Rama, Andal, Chakratalvar, Vishwaksena, Manavala Mauni, and Ramanujacharya. A rare and notable feature of this temple is the presence of Vishnu Durga, that is the form of Durga, and a goddess typically found only in Shiva temples. Her image is housed within the sanctum itself, further emphasizing the temple's uniqueness. Additionally, a beautiful idol of Krishna made from the Saligrama stone is enshrined in a separate sanctum. In the first precinct, there are also shrines of Venuga, Gopala, Lakshmi Raghava, Veeranjaneya, and Shukracharya, the guru of the Asuras. Now, Pushpavali Tayar, the divine consort of Ulagalanta Perumal, resides in her own separate shrine within the temple premises, and it's a beautiful large hall with carvings and the granite carvings, and the roof is painted brilliantly in bright colors. Now, the temple is believed to have been originally constructed by the medieval Cholas, with significant additions and renovations carried out later by the Vijayanagar rulers and the Madura Nayakas. The temple contains numerous inscriptions from the Chola, Pandya, and the Vijayanagar empires. So, with that, I conclude this part of the description of Tirukkovilur, and you may want to include this temple if ever you're making a trip to Tiruvannamalai, and you can visit Tirukkovilur first and then head to Tiruvannamalai. And my next video will be about Tiruvannamalai. With that, until next time, this is Sangeeta Venkatesh, and please do like, share, and subscribe so that we spread this knowledge about our beautiful country to all over India and abroad. Thank you so much, and namaste.